Look at this, guys. Looks like I'm gonna get some tomatoes pretty soon. Wow. And over here, if you can see through the stems, look at that, guys. I've got some tomatoes. Ooh. Yay. Who's that? Is that Dino? Is that Dino? Is Dino peeking through the fence? Through the trellis? Dino. Oh, something else has his attention. Yeah. But I am super excited about my tomatoes. Look at them. And this is going to be a huge cluster right here. So I'm finally getting around to reading my Andrew McCarthy book, Walking with Sam. And let's see, I'm almost halfway there. It's just been hard to find time to read in the last couple of months, but I think I'm finally back into my rhythm of reading. Look what just arrived. I got a treadmill, guys. I'm hoping I can be a little more active and maybe even start doing some knitting while I'm walking. You know, it gets really hot here in the summer, so I figured I would go ahead and get a treadmill so that just being hot won't be an excuse not to walk or exercise. We've got to stay more active, don't we? This is the Horizon T202. Looks like I'm gonna have fun putting this together. Yeah, it's huge, guys. Good morning, guys. I've got to figure out where I'm gonna go with my yarn though, because my yarn was on this wall in my living room, and I've decided to put my treadmill there. So yeah, so now I've got to move this probably back to my bedroom. And yeah, let me show you where it was. Well, I've got my work cut out for me, guys, because I am going to relocate my yarn shelf. I'm thinking about putting my treadmill here in my living room. Yeah, I don't really have a designated place for exercise. So that said, I am in the process of rearranging everything in my living room, because I think the treadmill will look good here. Well, I don't know if it'll look good, at least it'll be the most practical place for it. And I'm gonna put my yarn in my bedroom. I'm gonna make a whole yarn wall in the bedroom. I've actually got 2 of these shelves, so they will take up the whole wall in my bedroom, because I've got more yarn here and I've got tons more in the bedroom. But anyway, yeah, wish me luck, guys. So as you can see, I've got my work cut out for me. I'll be sharing more updates on my yarn wall progress in the bedroom. So yeah, right now though, I have some things I want to share with you guys. So I'll probably flip the camera around and just show you what I've been up to lately. Well, I was like, should I show you this mess on the table? I guess I will. So we're gonna go through all this stuff, guys. Maybe not the mannequin head. That's something I had on top of my yarn shelf that I took down. But this little stack of things I'm going to talk about. So yeah, I'll be right back. So this vlog has kind of turned into a show and tell, I guess. Hope you guys don't mind this style of video, but I just really love sharing my everyday life along with my passion for knitting and crochet. But as you know, I moved here last year, and I'm still slowly unpacking. And as I was going through some of my yarn boxes, I found some things that I thought I'd share with you. This is actually a hat pattern that I got, I think it was at Stitches West several years ago. It's been a while, guys. But does anybody remember Allie McGraw from Love Story? So anyway, this is Allie's cap, and she was there. She was actually there with, it was for the Wildlife Emergency Response Fund, and she signed the pattern, and I got to take a picture with her, guys. I don't know where that is right now. It's somewhere in my digital abyss, but hopefully I'll find it someday, and maybe I'll share it on Instagram or something. But this was signed by her for Christine. Best wishes, peace, Allie McGraw. And it came with the pattern. Oh yeah, oh wow, look at this. It was Stitches West 2011. Oh my gosh, guys, I said it was a few years ago. I guess it's been a little more than a few years. And the yarn is from Tuto Santa Fe. But yeah, this is the yarn. And it also came with this little turtle, like a little button. I don't know if that's focusing to where you can see, but there's a little hole right here, so you can attach it to the hat when you're done. It's very cute. Oh my goodness, guys. So cute. And let me show you this real quick. Crossing paths for the Wildlife Emergency Response Fund. When actress and animal rights advocate Allie McGraw was making the knitted cap, an iconic fashion item, legendary British designer Marlon Fole, I hope I pronounced that right, was creating a new sense of style on London's Carnaby Street. Oceans and a world apart, they have joined together almost 40 years later to support the Wildlife Emergency Response Fund's efforts to offer immediate help whenever crisis strikes wildlife anywhere in the world. As a special thank you for helping to fund WERF's global efforts, we include Allie's carved sea turtle. I have had this since 2011. Don't you think it's about time I knit this up? I think I want to cast on this week, and I will share the finished product and my progress in my upcoming vlogs. Well, I will put that back in later, but anyway, I also found this shawl that I had knit out of Noro. I love Noro. Isn't it gorgeous? When I first started knitting back in, back in 2006, I think, I was really into the triangular shawls, and so most of my earlier shawls were all triangle shapes, but I love Noro, and I kind of just designed this on a whim. It's very simple, just garter stitch at the bottom and then some eyelets and then the stockinette. But yeah, I just kind of designed this as I knit, and so I've got that. And what have I been working on? If you missed my tutorial for magic knot ball, magic yarn ball, I started another one and I ran out, but I'm making a hat with it. And all you do is just use the magic knot to keep tying strands of yarn together. So I'll also link to that tutorial down below, but it's the perfect way to get rid of all of your scraps. I love scrappy projects. So I had a little ball that I had started, and I decided I'd go ahead and start using it. It wasn't quite enough, as you can see, but I'll just keep adding on as I go. As I get more yarn, I'm just adding a bunch of worsted weight together right now. And this is going to be a scrappy beanie. I've shared a scrappy shawl that I did with a magic knot ball, but I really love the way that it turns out when you just combine all your scraps together. And instead of throwing them away, you can get more projects out of them. So what else? I've been on a beanie kick, guys. So this one, this is actually a combination of knitting and crochet. Another fun story, or should I say funny story, when I was going through my yarn stash, I found this circle, just this part right here that I had started crocheting at one point, who knows when, and I don't know what I was going to do with it, but I picked it up and I decided to keep going. And I think this was probably all single crochet, so then I started doing a half double crochet for a little while, and instead of increasing anymore, I just started doing it without increasing. And then I did double crochets, and then I decided to go with the granny stitch, you know, like how you do the granny squares with the clusters of 3 double crochets, and just kind of winged it, and ended up creating another beanie out of that little circle swatch that I found. And after I did that, I decided to pick up the stitches all the way around and knit the brim, or the ribbing, in knit 2, purl 2. So yeah, guys, I am trying to work through my stash this year, and if I find little swatches that I've made or anything, what I'm doing is just trying to turn them into something. I've got a bunch of squares that I've swatched in all different designs, and I'm thinking about maybe just sewing them together. I don't know if I'll make like a little jacket or a shawl or a blanket with them, but yeah, stay tuned, guys, and I will keep you posted on that as well. Then another thing, another beanie. This beanie, I love these colors, guys. I found this yarn at a thrift store. This is all I have left, so I'm glad that I started it out with a different yarn. I had this yarn in my stash, and I thought it would match perfectly with this color here. So I did a brim, or ribbing, first in that color, and then I took the yarn, I'll show you which one it is in a second here. Then I took this yarn and just finished the hat in it. And guys, I love the way it turned out. The colors just all spiraled, and this yarn is kind of fuzzy. So yeah, it's like a fuzzy, cozy yarn, and it's vintage. Look at this. Do any of you remember Karen Dazzle? So the label, I saved the label because it's just so cool. It says, let me see if I can put it together here. Okay, so it said Karen Dazzle Air, A-I-R-E, soft as bright, happy dreams. And then it says, in delightful color schemes. Oh, they rhymed. They made a rhyme out of it. Soft as bright, happy dreams in delightful color schemes. Karen Dazzle Air. Oh, look at that. I didn't even have to hold that together. I should have just read it from right here. But I'm just reading this, guys. Important pull skein instructions. Make sure outside strand is not tucked into end of skein. Then pull inside strand from opposite end of skein and begin your project. Yarn labels don't say that anymore, do they? I don't think they do. And this was the butterscotch ombre color. And guys, check out the price. Let me see if I can focus on this. There we go. $1.39. That was what the original price was. I don't remember what I paid for it at the thrift store, but it may have been about that much. And it was from a shop called Payless. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys remember this yarn, because when I told my mom about it, she remembered. So yeah, very nice. Love it. All right, let's see. The next thing I have is a coloring book. I just wanted to share that I decided to start coloring a little bit again. Yeah, this was an old book that I bought years ago as well. And as I'm unpacking, guys, I'm finding so many things. Do you guys ever buy things and then like never use them? That's what I did. And I can't believe I never used it. I think this was the only thing I had done. This page was colored, and it's like the, you know, the front page. That was the only page I had done. So I found my coloring pencils, and these are just Crayola brand coloring pencils. And I sat down one night and I colored this page, and then I also did this mandala. And I forgot how much I enjoyed coloring. Yeah, so that was fun. I actually colored a page in my Bucky's coloring book the other day too. Let me go grab that. I will be right back. I'm back. So if you guys watched my previous video, I think I mentioned that I had gone to Bucky's when I went to Oklahoma. There's a Bucky's. There isn't any in Oklahoma, but there's one in Texas, in Amarillo, a new one. So I stopped there, and it was the first time I'd ever been to Bucky's. And look at that. I colored the first page in the Bucky's coloring book. Do any of you guys color? I don't normally share things like this on this channel. I have another channel where I share all of my other crafty endeavors like this. And it's called Needle to Needle. So I'll link to that down below as well. But I just thought I would share with you guys because it's just another thing that I've been doing lately. And I finished the weaving project that I had been working on. If you guys have followed along, you saw that I was weaving and on a rigid heddle loom. So yeah. There isn't really a good way to show this because I've got my tripod set up here. Actually, I could scoot it back a little bit. And let's see if I can show it a little better this way. I did like a twisted fringe on the ends. And let's just kind of do it like this. Don't mind my chewed up table leg there. Yeah, one of my doggies did that when he was a puppy. But anyway, guys, I loved working on this. I'm going to have to do some more weaving. So I'll show you the length of it here. I did share pictures of this on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'm also Bayareaknitter on Instagram. But yeah, sorry I didn't have a better way to show this right now, but guys, I love it. It's like the length of my couch and it fits perfectly around me as a wrap. You could use it as a shawl, a lap blanket, yeah, anything. All right, let's move you back closer. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys, because it's probably gone on long enough. Let me take this off of the tripod. So feel free to follow or subscribe if you haven't already. Oh guys, there's one more thing I forgot to show you. So when I was in Oklahoma, I found this at a thrift store as well. If you guys have ever seen those plastic looms, and sometimes, you know, sometimes I feel like just using one of those to knit something, to loom knit something kind of fast with some of my yarn stash that I'm trying to get through. But it was only $4.99, and it looks like somebody made it. Looks handmade. So I just thought that was really neat. I'm gonna have to test it out. Maybe make a little scarf or something on it. But yeah, thanks for following along, guys. I have a couple more things here that I need to do in the next video. I have a t-shirt that I won on Instagram, and I also have some yarn that I purchased from the fiber seed. So I am going to do an unboxing of this in the next video, guys. I'm thinking about creating a new pattern design with this yarn. So stay tuned for that. So I will see you guys again in the next video. Happy knitting and crocheting or whatever else you're doing. I'll see you again next time. Have a great week. Bye.